this video you will learn what are the steps to managing stakeholder expectations, tools and techniques for expectation management, management of requirements, manage stakeholder expectations with these steps. Through effective stakeholder management, you can control scope creep better, guarantee that project needs are in line, comprehend risk tolerance, and prevent problems that might otherwise cause the project to be delayed. Effective stakeholder management is a sign of your influence inside a company and a vital part of a positive project environment. As a project manager for a renowned client, you are eager for a successful conclusion as well as enthused about the prospect of a new project. You are certain that the team you have put together will enable you to effectively meet and surpass the client's expectations. You've encountered this situation before and you realize that even the greatest plans may go astray in an instant. When this occurs, you must take control quickly before the team loses enthusiasm. The odds of a smoother ride are substantially higher if the stakeholders' expectations are adequately managed from the start. Follow these steps to manage stakeholders better. Determine the stakeholders involved. Are all the stakeholders obvious? No, not really. Most initiatives will include a large number of stakeholders, not simply the most visible. A stakeholder, according to the PMBOK guide, is a person or organization that is actively engaged in the project with interests that could be favorably or adversely impacted by the project's results or execution and can influence the project. This might involve top management inside your own organization. If your company's top influencers are not entirely on board, it may spark discontent among your team. You will next have to uncover the project's additional obscure stakeholders. Who funds the project, for example? They usually take a second seat to the people who implement, but if you don't address their expectations, you may lose a crucial influencer. Continue to brainstorm for additional silent but crucial stakeholders. You may also want to identify which stakeholders will be advocates for your project and which ones will be a hindrance. Determine the preferred means of communication for each stakeholder. You can assure the stakeholders' satisfaction by employing the most effective mode of communication. If you utilize the incorrect channel, you will cause them dissatisfaction and poor confidence. It will demonstrate that you did not follow their first instructions. Also, classify each stakeholder's degree of communication. Recognize who needs special attention and insists on obtaining all information, who wants a quick rundown every now and then, and who prefers to communicate on a daily or weekly basis. Another thing to keep in mind is that the attention span of most stakeholders in most companies is rather short. Big projects that need a lot of patience from stakeholders often stumble and fail. Regularly providing information at short periods maintains stakeholder engagement and motivation. Maintain stakeholder engagement throughout the process by providing frequent updates. At the start and during the project, ask the correct questions at the right individuals. Involve stakeholders in the decision-making process. Make them feel important. You've likely already determined the best approach, but convey your results in such a manner that stakeholders feel that they've been part of the process. Map expectations precisely. Be very explicit about the expectations of the stakeholders. Inquire about how they plan to assess project success. You will always come across various notions of success. Some may prioritize achieving the ultimate deadline above everything else. Another could view the finished product's end-user functionality to be most significant. How do you handle these differences of opinion? One approach would be to organize a gathering of all parties and assist them in reaching mutually beneficial agreements. Be mindful of how you finish the project. The way the project is completed is critical, not just meeting the needed specifications. Stakeholders will recall the general tone of the whole process. Their definition of success is not only the completed product, but also how you got there. Tools and techniques for expectation management. Let's examine the key methods and instruments at the project manager's disposal for successfully managing stakeholder expectations. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. On my website, projectmanagerig.com, you can get the free templates for your project management needs as well as training based on my 544-page book Project Management for Managers, Program and Project Portfolio Management in Banking. Please see the details below in the description. Making use of kickoff meetings. Kickoff meetings are indeed a simple yet effective strategy for managing expectations. Since they are such a crucial tool for managing expectations, it felt preferable to address them here rather than in the chapter about project communications, as is customary. A launch meeting is often straightforward. Bring together all the relevant parties to formally evaluate the project and launch it. So why concentrate on this method? Kickoff meetings are very helpful for achieving certain expectations management goals, but many individuals either don't do them well or improperly conduct them. Primary objectives. The following should be the 3 key aims of each kickoff meeting. Give formal notice that the project has begun. Establish a baseline of shared expectations for all parties. Begin the process of developing relationships among the project team, clients, and other stakeholders. How far you are in the process of planning is the most important aspect influencing the type of launch meetings. If comprehensive preparation has been completed, the launch meeting becomes more of an informative gathering. Otherwise, the kickoff session might be utilized as a workshop for detailed planning. Important recommendations. With these objectives in mind, consider the following essential tips for effective kickoff meetings. The size, duration, and logistics of the meeting will vary according to corporate culture, size of the project methodology, stakeholder count, and project significance. Make plans for your launch meetings appropriately. As a general guideline, don't attempt to accomplish or address everything. To cover the specifics, have subsequent small meetings with particular groups or people. If feasible, bring everyone, particularly the executive sponsors, to the general kickoffs. Set the stage for everyone, concentrate on the why. Examine the project's purpose, goals, and business benefits. Outline the priorities, desired outcomes, and important success elements. Provide an overall view. Allow everyone to see the end solution, how it will affect them, and the way all the parts will join together. Familiarize with one another. Begin the process of relationship development and collaboration. Everyone should be introduced. Examine project team organization and roles and duties. Highlight each person's function, value, and time commitment. Demonstrate your leadership and enthusiasm regarding the project. Establish the tone, inspire, and motivate others. Examine critical project plan components such as scope, important milestones, budget estimate, schedule, etc. Whenever feasible, provide team mementos at the start of the project. It promotes team togetherness and project awareness. Request feedback. Clear up any misunderstandings immediately. Make sure everyone knows what they should do immediately. They must be certain about their future actions. Management of requirements. The requirements collection and requirements management procedures are responsible for a high proportion of expectation misconceptions. The most aggravating aspect of these scenarios is that the majority of them can be avoided. While requirements formulation is a topic in and of itself, we shall use the Pareto principle at this point. We will concentrate our efforts on solving common issues related to requirements, as well as the important concepts and standards that will have the biggest impact. Common issues to avoid. To further comprehend the importance of the proposed principles and standards, consider the following prevalent issues in requirements gathering and definition. Inadequately written, the requirements are imprecise, inconsistent, unclear, or have high-level details. Incomplete, the requirements list is insufficient to effectively characterize the solution. Unspoken assumptions, the requirements list does not correctly represent all of the stakeholders' expectations for the intended solution. Process that is rigid, while specifications must be agreed upon and finished at particular times. Creating requirements is an iterative process in which things change. This fact must be anticipated by the requirements management system. Inadequate verification, the long existing issue of language. Employing statements to express a specific solution opens the door to various misconceptions and misperceptions. In most circumstances, you will need to use additional strategies and methodologies to ensure that you are specifying the correct solution. Inadequate education. Frequently, the stakeholders that define the product requirements do not completely comprehend the whole requirements process or the relevance or consequence of their choices. Keeping these ideas in mind will improve your requirements management. Let's go through the following guidelines so you can create better requirements and manage expectations and requirements throughout the project. The process of defining requirements evolves with time. Make appropriate plans for your project strategy and requirements management tools. A variety of methods for acquiring information should be used in the requirements definition process. Depending on the project's risks and features, suitable approaches should be used. What, not how, should be specified in requirements. Requirements should not impose any pointless restrictions. All parties should be able to comprehend and agree upon requirements that are comprehensive, plain, and reasonable. Requirements have to be connected to the desired outcome. Prioritizing requirements is important. Listen, avoid prejudging or jumping to conclusions. Make an effort to transform expectations into needs. Educate relevant stakeholders about the requirements process. At a minimum, key stakeholders must be trained on the following topics. Requirements act as the core project goal and the framework for detailed project planning. Take them through the many strategies and procedures that will be used in the process of defining requirements. Changes to requirements have an influence on budget and schedule. They become more expensive the later they are introduced in the project. Requirements can act as contract provisions, recommendations for better requirements. Knowing the flow of the process can assist you in identifying stakeholders, scope limits, change impact concerns, and improve requirements. To avoid the previously stated pitfalls and considerably improve your ability to define requirements, keep the following tips in mind. Consider the experience of the user. Learn how the consumers engage with the desired solution. Recognize the workflow of the user. Recognize the user's working environment. Always inquire why. Include visual exhibits, models in the criteria specification. Get an understanding from the representative of each user about the following to drive out unspoken expectations. What are the most pressing issues right now and why? What features or functions will be most beneficial and why? What component of the new product are you most looking forward to and why? What are your expectations for the end solution's quality and performance and why? Project risks must be recognized as unquantifiable expectations. Check that your assumptions about the project match your final needs. Whenever feasible, describe requirements in terms of both current and future demands to aid in design choices. Give each requirement a distinct ID. Any associated assumptions should be documented. To increase the efficacy of the requirements, adopt a quality checklist. Changes in requirements must be monitored and controlled. To relate each need to one or more parts of the finished product, employ a requirements traceability matrix. Click on the video card on the right to understand requirements management plan and stakeholder engagement and communication process. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. On my website, projectmanagerik.com, you can get the free templates for your project management needs as well as training based on my 544-page book Project Management for Managers. Program and project portfolio management in banking translated into 12 languages and counting. Please see the details below in the description and where to buy my book and what is the best program and project management software.